Yo, what's up, you guys? It's Pwnsweet here, and coming back at you with another commentary. And basically, I know it's been like a week since I last uploaded something. It's crazy. I meant to upload something earlier. I really did, but time just flies, man. It's just nuts. Like, next thing you know, it's like a month has gone past, and we're already like only just a couple of weeks away from next gen consoles. Isn't that just crazy? So, I actually have two PlayStation 4s on pre-order from Amazon. And they'll be coming my way in probably the next 3 or so weeks, because the PS4 comes out in the US on the 15th of November, so that's a full 2 weeks before it comes out in Australia. So apparently Amazon is saying that it'll get to me in about a week or so after it comes out in the US, like for shipping and stuff. So I'll still get it a week earlier, and I get it a heck of a lot cheaper. I paid only 400 US for my PS4, PS4s, 400 each, and that's a hell of a lot cheaper than what they're charging here in Aussie dollars, or Australia, whatever. 550. So 150 bucks cheaper, which is awesome. That basically pays for one next gen game and a PlayStation Plus subscription. So that's pretty sweet. But anyway, that's not what I want to talk about today. I don't even know how I got onto that. What the heck? What I wanted to talk about today was some stuff about PS4 versus Xbox One. And I don't know, this commentary kind of suits those people who are still on the fence and don't know which one to get. It's kind of like a reassurance for those of you who have got a PS4 on pre-order. And it's kind of a kick in the face and a slap in the face for those of you who have got an Xbox One. So it sucks to be you. Probably don't want to watch this commentary. But yeah, let's get onto it. Basically, what I want to talk about is the fact that PS4 is awesome and PS4 is better, and PS4 is the way to go if you're still deciding which one to get. And the reason I say that is because we recently, like I said, we're so close to next gen console launches now, and there's magazines and websites and stuff out there that have got PS4s. They've got the games that they want to review and all this kind of stuff, all these kinds of things. And basically, Battlefield 4 was recently reviewed by Digital Foundry over at Eurogamer.com or .net, and these guys are awesome. What these guys do, in fact, at one point I was actually offered a job to write for them, believe it or not, which you probably won't believe, but it's true. And these guys are awesome. Basically, what they do is they get games and they don't just test them, they don't like review them for the story or for the gameplay or whatever. What they do is they review them for technical aspects. So they look at like things like frame rate, resolution, graphical effects, that kind of stuff, which is stuff that I'm really interested in and really into. And if any of you guys are interested in, I definitely suggest you head on over to Eurogamer.net, and anytime you see a Digital Foundry article up on there, like, check it out, because it's awesome. Anyway, so they got a copy of pretty much near final code. It's not exactly final code or retail code of Battlefield 4, but it's pretty close to retail. And even DICE said themselves that it's basically retail. Like, there'll be a very, very few minor tweaks here and there made, but nothing that should impact performance or graphics in any significant way. And so they've got these two versions. They've got the Xbox One, they've got the PS4 version, and they're running this on their debug units. And here's what they had to say. They did some testing and stuff, and I'm going to just rip out some quotes straight out of their article, stuff that I found interesting while reading through it, and just use it in this commentary. So here we go. So they say that the PlayStation 4 offers a commanding lead in terms of resolution. It's at 720p on Xbox One versus 900p on the PS4. Now, what does that mean? Well, 720p simply means 1280 by 720. That's how many pixels you have on the Xbox One version, whereas on the PS4 version, you've got 1600 by 900. Excuse me. And so you're probably thinking, well, 720p, 900p, not that much difference. Wrong. That is not true at all. Actually, the PlayStation 4, if you calculate it all out and figure out how many pixels there are, which is not that hard at all, just do 1280 times 720, and then you do the same thing, 1600 by 900, divide through, and you find out that it's actually a 56.25% more pixels on the PS4 version. We're talking like 1.5 times the resolution on the PS4. So you're probably thinking, well, okay, great, there's more resolution. Who cares? Well, resolution is important because what it does is it makes it so that you don't have as many jagged lines and everything's smoother. So if you've got like a diagonal cable in the sky, or that's like a power cable or whatever, or you've got like some steel structure that's made out of all these trusses and beams and things, well, those beams are all nice and smooth at a higher resolution. Whereas at a lower resolution, such as 2720p, it's all jagged and it's all disgusting and yuck. Similar to what we're seeing now on like Battlefield 3 or whatever on these games that are coming out on Xbox 360 and PS3, where all the games pretty much run at sub HD resolutions or 720p at the most. Okay, so so yeah, that's the first big change. We're talking about a huge resolution increase. Now, what else is there? Well, there's also the fact that the PS4 version features something called ambient occlusion. And not only does it feature ambient occlusion, it's also like the high version, the really good looking version. It's called, I think it's called horizon-based ambient occlusion. Basically, it's similar to the PC's Ultra setting, which is like its highest setting version. Whereas on the Xbox One, there's no ambient occlusion at all. There's none. It's not there at all, which is interesting because even Battlefield 3 had ambient occlusion on the Xbox 360 and PS3. But it seems like DICE was struggling with the Xbox One hardware to get as much performance as possible out of it, so they had to just cut it, and there is none on the Xbox One. If you don't know what ambient occlusion is, think shadows around polygonal like meshes and objects to give that that asset a bit more depth, I suppose, in the world. It makes it look more real. It makes it look like it's actually in the game world and not just sort of flat and pasted on. I don't know, that's the best way I can explain it. A Google search, that's actually what you should do. Just search it on Google, you'll find out all about it. But yeah, pretty much that's it. And what's important to take away from that is that ambient occlusion is actually really, really hard to do. So I noticed that when I play games on my PC, if I run a game with ambient occlusion on, I'll take a pretty significant frame rate hit. So usually, because I've only got a GTX 460 in my PC still, so usually I have to turn ambient occlusion off. And then everything doesn't look as good. But I have to because the frame rate is just too bad with it on. So it is actually pretty hard to run. So not only are you getting more pixels on the PS4 version, but you're also getting ambient occlusion, which is pretty taxing and it makes the game look better. So you're probably wondering, okay, great, so it looks better, you know, it's got more resolution. You know, the PS4 version must be pretty chunky and yuck and sick to look at. Not true. In fact, here's what they say. There's no doubt that Sony's new platform comes out on top overall in the performance metrics. This is best demonstrated in matching sequences such as a cutscene on the Shanghai River, where it commands a constant 2 to 4 frames per second lead. So not only are we getting more pixels, not only are we getting a better picture, but it's even smoother than the Xbox One version with all that stuff as well. So that's pretty insane. And then they finish up by saying perhaps the biggest takeaway is that in this near finalized state, the PS4 offers a superior experience on several fronts. So there you go, guys. I mean, that pretty much sums it up right there. PS4 version for the win, kicks the ass of the Xbox One, and I have to say I'm really, really glad that I've decided to go with the PS4. I mean, not only does it look better, not only does it have a better resolution, not only is it smoother, but the PS4 is cheaper as well, so you get this on a cheaper system. Now, I'm sure, you know, there's some of you guys out there that are like, yeah, but it doesn't come with Kinect and, you know, whatever else. And that's fair enough. It's a fair comment. That's true, right? But ultimately, you know, for me, I don't really care that much about Kinect. It's not something I'm interested in. I'm more bummed about the fact that Titanfall is coming to Xbox One, you know, Halo, and I won't be able to play those if I have a PS4. But you know, I'll get an Xbox One. I will get one at some point. But I'm glad that right out the gate, you know, I've chosen to get the PS4 version as my launch console. And then maybe next Christmas I'll pick up an Xbox One, and then, you know, I'll be able to play all those games that I missed out on. But ultimately, I'll end up getting them both. But for those of you maybe that are still deciding which one to pick up, maybe Christmas time or after Christmas if you can find one, looks like, you know, PS4 is going to have a lead at least for a little while over the other version. Anyway, I've been talking for ages. There were a few things I wanted to say, like some announcements and stuff, but I think I'll leave it for another commentary because this has been going on for a bit too long now. But look, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. I hope you learned something, and let me know if, you know, this helped you out or whatever, and let me know if you liked the commentary. But otherwise, guys, that's it from me today. Hopefully it won't be another week before you hear from me again. I'll try my best. But that's it, guys. I'm out of here. Take it easy and enjoy.
Target spotted. Never a doubt.